Hi and welcome everybody to Granny J Clay, and look what I've got here today. I decided I was going to make something out of clay. I have an idea that I want to do that I saw on, somebody's posting I think on YouTube, but they did it with wood. So I'm going to try to do the same kind of thing that they did, only I'm going to do it with my gold clay that I have, gold Primo clay. Since I have this huge block of clay, I thought I would try it with this, and I think it would be pretty. So stick around and we'll see what happens. Okay, I took the wrap off of it, and I'm going to cut several chunks off on this end. So I just thought, well, you can watch me do that if you want to. I haven't done anything with clay for a long time. It seems like a long time. Maybe it's not as long as I think. But I've just started to miss it. And I've taken breaks from clay before, and that's what happens. I start to miss it, and I go back to it. There's something really comforting, for me anyway, the tactile part of it, the touching part of it, and getting it nice and processed so it's soft and where it needs to be. Let's try that much for right now, and I'm just going to park this over on this side. I decided I would use my gray tile, which is a big tile, so you can see without any glare. I do have my glass tile down here, but let's try this for now. I know my clay will stick a little bit more to this clay, but let's see what happens. I'm going to process my clay, so I'm going to run it through my pasta machine. You probably heard that it did grind pretty good, but it took it through the widest setting really well. And I'm going to do these others, and I'll just pause you so you don't have to hear that part. Okay, I've run this through my processor one time, and of course I have to run it through several times. I have to move this big block of clay out of my way. And I thought it wouldn't be in my way, but it is. Isn't that pretty? It just almost looks like gold. I think it does anyway. Oh, it's so pretty, and sort of like wood too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run two of these together. They can get funny looking when you do that. And I'm going to continue this until I get it to where I want it, so I will pause you and be back. All right, I have it rolled out, but maybe you can see they have lines on it from my clay processor. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a piece of parchment paper over that, and then I'm going to just burnish it a little bit. See if I can't get it kind of even. I may have to do more of that as I go along. Oops. Sorry guys. Let's see, there's the cutter. Let's see if I can just do this. Okay. And I'm just going to burnish it a little bit. Kind of lightly, not real hard. I don't want to do it too hard. I grabbed the wrong one. I want the, where'd it go? There it is. This one, I'm going to use this one. This one has a felt bottom to it and a crystal doorknob on the top. I had ordered that from the internet. And I can't even remember when I did it. It's been in the last few years though. But you can go on the internet and find things like this very easily. But it's a burnisher. That's what I call it. Let's see how this is kind of looking. Okay, it's not really removing the lines all that much, but I'm gonna go up and down and see what that does. Press a little bit harder. Okay. Okay, that's a little bit better. Let's see how it works. Now, what I really want to do, and I'm only going to make one with you folks, and then I'll make others if this one turns out okay. I'll get a few of my other cutters out here. They're so old. I really need to replace these. I put handles on them, and the handles harden, and they work really well. I got them at these blades at the hardware store. But what I want to do is cut this, and I think what I'll do is bring this. See if I can pull it off very easily. Yeah, it's okay. All right, bring it a little bit closer to me. And then what I want to do is cut it. And let's see. I think what I'll do is cut this off right now because that's not what I want. And this up here is not what I want either. I'll just kind of trim it off a little bit. Okay. And I don't know how, and my hands are so rough that when I do this, then lines come on here. So maybe I'll just wait to burnish the rest of it until the end. I wanted it thick, so I ran it through the pasta machine on the thickest setting. Well, I ran it through on other settings too, but then I brought it back to the thickest setting because I want it somewhat thick. So let's see here. I want this to be about, let's do it about 1 inch by 4 inches. Is this, let's see what this is. Almost perfect 4 inches, not quite. Okay, well, I'll go in. I don't want this on the bottom either. So I'm gonna go in and I will make a mark with the 1 inch right there. Let's see if I can see that. Yeah, 1 inch. And then let's make a, let's see, 1 inch mark up here. Be about right there. Okay. And now I'm going to do this. Let's see if I can get the smooth side of my ruler. Okay, so I'm going to lay it down right about there. And let's see if we can get a fairly decent looking piece stuck to it. Yeah, that looks pretty good. What I'm going to do is just come in and take that off right like that. And that's a fairly thick piece. Now the trick for me is baking it and keeping it flat. And so when I want something to stay flat and not get kind of curled up here or there, if it's thin like this, thinner, then what I do is I take a tile, a small tile, I put a piece of patty paper over it, I put it on here, I take another piece, let's see, where did I put my patty paper? A patty paper and put it over it, and then I put another tile on top of it so it won't do any curling or, you know, anything for me. So I'm going to make, maybe I'll make a couple of these. I'm trying to, in my head here, I'm thinking, do I really want it just this thick or do I want it double that? And I'm thinking I just want it this thick. So let's make one and see how that comes out. What I want to do in the end is something very, very simple. Just very simple. I want to put a hole at the top. I want to use some twine and tie it through the hole so it will be a Christmas decoration on a tree. But I want to write words down here or stamp words like love and peace and so forth. So we'll see. That's why I wasn't going to put any kind of a, what do you call it, texture on it. I wanted to leave it just clean. And we'll see how this goes. We shall see. Because if you put a texture on it, then when you stamp your words or your letters on here, it's not going to go on very evenly. And we want them even. So I'm going to just pause for a minute. I'm going to make a few more, and then I'm going to bake them, and I'll be back. I just wanted to show you what I cut out. You know, when you cut things like this, they just aren't going to turn out perfectly, but you can use your fingers to smooth some edges. And then when they're all baked and they're done, you can sand around the edges. And you can buff the piece as well to make it look a little bit more shiny. But this is what I've done so far, and I forgot I was going to pop some holes in them at the top. But then I decided, no, I will drill a hole when I'm done, because when I push down into the clay now, the way they are, it will spread the clay, and I don't want it to do that at all. So I'm just looking at them right now, and there were some little markings along the side that I tried to get off, and then I just kind of, like this one right here, I kind of made it more round at the corners, and I didn't want to do that. But it'll work. It will work. And it's kind of puffy up in this corner, so I'll get that. But like I said, you can always sand what you don't like. You can sand it off, sand it down, make it look a little bit better. Okay, generally I'm crazy for texture. I love putting texture in my clay pieces. So this is hard for me not to do it, but we'll see how this turns out. I'm going to take them, bake them for an hour at 250, or 275, excuse me. And then I will come back and show you how they turned out after baking, and we'll play with them a little bit. Here's my tile, and I'm going to go ahead and just start putting them on here. I might need another tile, I don't know. But I want to set a tile on top of them. And I don't want it to wobble. So I'm trying to be careful here. Maybe I can get, I don't know. Yeah, might be able to get them all on this one. Maybe. Yep, I can. These are all 1 inch by just about 4 inches. Okay, this one needs to go over just a little bit more so we can make a little bit more room here. As long as they're not touching, we're good. And I don't think they are. These looks like little bars of gold, actual gold, sort of. Anyway, I did not have a rectangular cutter, a rectangle cutter, so that's why I cut them. I measured and I cut them this way. I do have one, but it's small. I'll show you which one it is. You've seen it before, but maybe you've forgotten it. I don't know. I actually have a couple, but they're both too small for this. If I wanted to cut something that small, that would be fine, but I didn't. I wanted them a little bit longer. So, all right, now I'm going to put my patty paper on the top. I'm going to take another tile, turn that tile upside down so the smooth side goes down on the clay. And now, there's something there, I'm going to take these and put them in my oven, like I said, at 275 for an hour, and I'll be back again. See you soon. Okay, I am back. I have now baked these for an hour at 275, and when they were done, I had a bowl of ice water ready, and I just put them in the bowl of ice water, and so they cooled real quickly. And if you hear noises, it's my husband going in and out of the door upstairs. So now I'm going to choose one of them to work with, and what I'm going to do is choose the smoothest one. They have a little bit of bumps here and there, not very bad bumps, but they still, like right here, I don't know if you can see this one or not. Let me show you. If you can see that little bump right there, little air bubble or something. But I'm feeling that one's pretty good. Maybe I'll use this one, that one's pretty good. But you can hear, they're done. So I'm gonna push these aside for now. We're just gonna work on one. And we'll see how this goes. All right, I have something here I haven't shown you before. Let's see here. This is just something to hold my block from slipping. I don't think it would slip, but then I've got this little block of wood that I drill on. And so I need to make a mark in this up here somewhere and decide where I want to have the hole. I want it in the middle. So let's do this. I'll just do this and this, and I'll just bring it up to here. So it's 1 inch across, so I want it where the 1/2 inch would be marked, which would be right about there. So let me just take a tool here, one of my needle tools, and I'm just going to make a mark. I'll just go a little ways down here, maybe about right there, and just make a mark. Can you hear my husband's leaf blower? He's walking from the deck through the house out to the front. Oh, he cracks me up. All right, so that's where I'm going to have my hole. Now I will bring this back, and this is my Dremel drill, and it's really, really heavy. For me, it's a little bit hard to control. I got a smaller one that I really like, but right now this is the drill bit I want, so I'm going to use it. So you can see it's plugged in. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold it like right there. I'm not going to turn it on, at least I hope I don't. And I'm just going to line it up where I made the dot, and then hold it still as I can, and drill. We'll see. And you'll see with me. Perfect. Look at that. Okay, let me get rid of the drill here before I drill my finger or something. This was just a piece of something my husband had been working on, and he gave it to me. But look at this. I've drilled and drilled. So let me just get this cleaned up a little bit, but let me show you the hole first. There you go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. All right. I'll be back. All right. Now I am going to stamp the word Noel on here, and I want it toward the bottom. So what I'm going to do is start with the last letter of the word Noel and come back up this way. And I'll get it as even as I can. You know, that's a little hard to do when you stamp with things like this, but we'll see how it goes. I tried stamping with 2 different kinds. Let me show you this sheet of paper. There you go. The one I plan to use that has the little dots on the end of it looks more, to me, it looks more festive and Christmassy than this set does. And they're about the same, close to the same size, but I just really like the ones with the dots at the end. So that's what I'm going to use. And over the years, I have picked up, different sets of rubber stamps with the alphabet, and I'm sure a lot of crafters just do that just in case. So this is what I'll do. This is my archival ink, black, and I will try it. Let's see how it goes here. Start with the L, make sure I've got it right side up, and I tried it with that paper, so I don't want it to have anything on the edges. Looks like there's something there, but it might have been there from before. Okay, we'll see. If I make an error, we'll get out some alcohol and see if I can get it off. But so here's an L, and that's the up and down right there. So let's try that. Oh, not bad. I like that. Okay, now the E, N-O-E-L. So let's try the E. When I got these, they weren't marked on the other end, so I marked them in a little Sharpie. Just so looking at it, I could see the right way to do it. N-O-E-L. Now, this is where it gets tricky. If you want them side by side, good luck. I'll try, but if it doesn't work out that way, it doesn't work out that way. In fact, I might put them up and down just to make it look like I planned it that way. How about if we do that? Just up and down a little bit. Okay, and off to the side a little bit too. Okay, here's the O. And so then I'll kind of come down with it there. And then the end. And let's see, which way is it? That way? Okay. And I'll kind of turn that in a little bit. Oh, I like that. I like that. Can you see that? That's not bad, is it? Now, to me, it's pretty blah. But you can use these if you want to as gift tags too. And I really don't like that I have a couple of little bubbles going on there. So I'll see. I might do something else with that. I could stamp something else over it. Maybe you couldn't see it as much. So let me give that some thought. So Noel is my first word. And then what I'm going to do is just take a little twine and put it through here, and it can hang on the tree just like that. Or you can continue to decorate it any way you want to. You can make this really glammy, or just like this. So for now, it's going to be just like this. And I'll grab the other ones, and I'll drill the holes, and I'll make some other words. Oh, and there goes Bella looking for a toy. Bob. So this is about the good time to stop it. Okay. Anyway, that was quick and short. I just did want to give you a little bit of an update. If Bella barks again, I'm sorry. I go in to see an orthopedic surgeon on November 2nd, and so after that we'll know more. But right now I'm wearing something called a TENS, T-E-N-S, and you put on these little pads and then hook this little electrical thing up to it, and it sends out electrical vibrations. That's about the only best way I know how to explain it to the area, and it feels good to have that on. My brother actually told me about it. He's had his one hip replaced 3 times because he had infection, so I don't want that to be happening. Anyway, so I'll just let you know. I don't want to make a great big deal out of this, but today is a good day. I'm not feeling that much pain, so that's a good thing. All right, that's it. Very simple, very quick, and I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll see you soon again. Bye for now. God bless you all.